How's it going, YouTube? This is Wake Run Collapse, and this evening I wanted to show off my 5 favorite cards from my 3rd generation promo and deck card binder. Now, this full collection is not ready for the public eye. I still have to do some sifting through and checking through a lot of different cards and stacks of cards to make sure that I've pulled every card that I might need to include in such a binder. But I pulled out my 5 favorite cards and I wanted to share them with you now. So, they are in no particular order except they're sorted by type, so I guess they are in some particular order, but they're not ranked 1 through 5 or anything like that. I really like the artwork and I want to show you guys. So the first card in this video is going to be a Grovyle, non-holographic. This is one of the earliest ADV promos, so way back there. Very old card, but really interesting choices in this artwork. You will actually see a couple of illustrators represented twice in this video, which is just a testament to how well they do. And a lot of these cards that you're going to see might be represented in English sets. Like there's a card here from Unseen Forces, one from EX Emerald, I'm pretty sure, but all 5 of these cards are not released in Japanese main expansions. For instance, this really cool Quilava card. In keeping with the second evolutionary stage of a starter, I just really like the way that the card is framed, and the flames just look really nice on it. This is from a Typhlosion deck, so you would not find it opening a booster pack in Japan. Speaking of cards that you won't find that way, how about this holographic Kyogre, which was one of the very first Kyogre cards to be printed? I don't think it was the first. There might have been 1 or 2 cards before this, but there's really no point in continuing to try to one-up artwork like this because it looks so great already. This was definitely a deck card as well. Man, it looks really nice. This next card is the type of card that gets overlooked very, very easily because it's of a Ralts and nobody really pays a lot of attention to it, especially when it's the first evolution in a line for Gardevoir, which was the subject of this deck. I think it was called the Imprison Gardevoir EX deck, which is a little bit later in 3rd gen. But the use of shadow and light in this card and just the art style of it is so interesting, and it stands out so much from a lot of the other Ralts cards. It can just be so plain, as if there's really not a whole lot of effort that's put into them, and I really, really enjoyed this card, and I couldn't not feature it in a video like this. Now, what is probably my favorite card out of the 5 that you've seen here is a card that maybe you have seen already, this Groudon Play Promo. You can actually see there's a spot up at the top next to my finger that maybe should have gotten a couple of stitches. Next to Groudon's name, there's actually a spot for the owner of this card to write their name in it, and I'm really glad that didn't happen with this card. You can actually see in the bottom right corner the Play Promo symbol. And this is probably the most valuable card out of the 5, but it's not super valuable. It's maybe a $10 or $12 card in really good condition. I don't know. I'm kind of nice that a card like this isn't super valuable. You can actually go out and collect it, and it was at the top of my wants list for promos for a while, and now that I've added it to my collection and even featured it in a video before, it's nice to be able to show it off again. Now, the point of this video is not just to crank out a video because I didn't do one yet today. I really want to showcase the importance of going out and doing your research. I implore you to do your research as a collector. There are like 7,000 cards that have been released in Japanese expansions, and even if you collected every expansion and did all of these great things for booster boxes over the years, none of the 5 cards that you would have seen in this video would be in your collection. And that's why it's so important for your growth as a collector, or growth as even a Japanese content creator, if that happens to be your thing, to do your research, to seek out, to find other cards out there that might interest you, or other styles of artwork, or maybe even a new place to collect. Because I don't own complete collections of any of the 5 cards that are here. I don't think I've opened any of the decks that they came from. But the sheer fact that I encountered these promos in the first place gives me a greater appreciation for the art that went into it, the effort that went into these cards, and also the importance of branching out a little bit and maybe finding something that you didn't know you wanted in the first place but really adds to your collection in a meaningful way. But that's enough talking for me for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed watching me show off these interesting cards. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. And of course, make sure you're back here tomorrow for another deck opening.